So I just have a real quick demo for you here showing you the how you would enable immutability and turn on and off this flexible immutability concept. Here I have my desktop, and I'm actually logged into my vStor server. So vStor is the backup destination for DPX. For those of you who are using vStor as your backup destination, you probably realize at this point that it can do a lot more than just act as a backup destination. We do have some customers using it as their own primary storage devices as well, right? It's because it supports all the different storage protocols. This is all software defined. So you have a server, you deploy vStor on top of that server, and you're going to have the ability to not only have that backup destination, but have a primary storage source that you can serve up data from. But in my demo here, I'm going to show you some things that have been in the product and that we've just built on top of it, as well as some of the new features here from a immutability perspective. But you might know that we have multi-factor authentication built into the product. So you can enable multi-factor authentication and roll into it, just scan it in. Then everything that you do from a login perspective will require that key. We also have role-based access control, the ability to create a list of sub-users that have this have the ability to only manage and interact with the resources that are within the storage pools that they have access to, right? So you can define standard and admin users. Admin users get to see this admin portion of the screen where they're able to manage the system. Standard users will only see those resources that they have access to. So I'm logged in as admin, my admin user here on this screen. I'm logged in. Well, I was logged in, so let me go ahead and log back in. I think it timed out for me as my personal user here, and I enabled multi-factor authentication here. So I'm just going to copy that code here and log into my device. So my user here is a standard user, but as a storage admin, this is pretty much all I need from a backup perspective, right? I want to manage the backups to my own volume, let's say. And in this case, I can just drill down into that volume here and take a look at some of the snapshots that have been created. So here I am running a backup job every day. It's creating backup snapshots for me on my volume. And now I want to make this volume immutable, prevent it from being tampered with or being modified, right? And that's just as simple as, enabling this flag here, where I can turn on or turn off the volume protection for my volume. This will prevent any changes occurring to that volume and lock it in place. And when I want to disable it, I just go and turn off immutability. It's going to ask me for my authentication token here, so I can supply that and now disable the protection, right? So it's pretty simple from a volume perspective. It's going to allow me to set up a replication workflow, and then let's say I want to prevent replications from occurring or lock that volume in place so that, let's say I'm infected with ransomware. I want to lock that volume in place and prevent my replica from being modified through a replication workflow. I can just simply enable that volume immutability button there. The other way in which I can enable immutability is at the snapshot layer itself. So each of these backup snapshots here is going to be a point in time picture of the server that I had backed up, right? So these are all my backup snapshots I run on a daily basis now. And let's say I am hacked or I'm audited for legal compliance. I need to ensure that none of these snapshots get deleted or modified. Now with my standard backup workflow, Condense is going to be running on a daily basis. I'm going to be purging and deleting snapshots just through normal operation of the DPX software. But at this point, because I received that request, I I need to keep these snapshots. I need to prevent anyone from tampering with them or intentionally or accidentally deleting them. In this case, I just slide that button over for protect. And there are two methods I can use to protect that snapshot. One is the flexible protection, where I can remove the protection period. And then the other is fixed protection, where once I've set the retention, I'm not going to be able to touch a snapshot until that retention time is met. So it's kind of like object locking in the cloud, where you have compliance and governance modes, right? Where you can set level of protection on a particular snapshot and ensure that that snapshot is not deleted. So in this case, I want to use flexible protection because I want to enable and disable it at my leisure here. All I need to do is set a retention period on it. And let's say I set for 20 days here. So once that retention period is set, it's going to tell me that, okay, this is when the protection period is going to expire. At that point, the snapshot will go to unprotected and we'll be able to delete that snapshot. But notice here that I cannot delete this snapshot, right? I'm not able to delete the snapshot while the protection period is turned on. And even if I go under my admin user here and take a look at the snapshots within that volume. So as an admin user, I can see those snapshots. I cannot disable that protection feature unless I have access to that user's account or that user's authentication token there. So in this case, if I try to delete the snapshot, or if the DPX master server tries to delete the snapshot through its normal condense operations, it's not going to be able to. And this is where it's going to, put it in queue. You might have seen I can't delete the snapshot because it's in use. You'll see in this case that the snapshot's not able to be deleted because it's being protected, right? So we'll continue to try to delete the snapshot, and then when July 3rd rolls around, that snapshot will be deleted. In this case, if I want to disable the protection on it, I can just go under my login account here and then supply the necessary authentication token from MFA to disable that protection. And now I can do with that snapshot as I want to, either delete it or run restores from it, et cetera. So that's the whole key behind this flexible immutability aspect of vStor, right? Where we want you to be able to decide where and when you want to add this additional layer of protection, and you can enable it by default, right? Just by turning on volume protection, having the entire volume inherit, or having all the resources within the volume inherit the protection at the parent level.